Good afternoon. This is Group 1's firm analysis of MGM Resorts International, consisting of team members Stephanie, Carla, Amanda, Valerie, and myself, Jason. MGM Resorts International was founded May 31st in the year 2000, and since then the company has built a great track record with its ability to expand into different countries around the world. I'm now going to give a brief introduction into our team's group members and go over why we decided to go with MGM Resorts International to bring to you the board of directors. Stephanie will be going over and discussing MGM and the foreign direct investment, and will touch on areas such as risk, difficulties, and will give you some recommendations that should be beneficial to the firm. Carla is going to talk to you about MGM's infrastructure, and she will discuss areas such as international presence, potential threats of entry that the organization may face, and establishing business confidence. She will follow up with her recommendations for them. Amanda will be going over the firm and how it's able to adjust its value chain activities to be able to adapt to the local market. Valerie will go into detail about MGM's current presence and how they are able to accommodate for everyone around the world, wherever they may want to go and reach out and expand into. I am now going to pass the presentation off to Stephanie as she will give her message about foreign direct investment as well as her recommendation. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Sigler, and today I'm going to be talking about potential risks and difficulties associated with foreign direct investment in the UAE, specifically in the hotel industry. Our group has been looking at the MGM Grand Resorts. So first I will go over the main and most important factors that can affect foreign direct investment. The two main categories that affect foreign direct investment are the political risks and the financial risks. Within these categories, we have government stability, socioeconomic conditions, corruption, internal conflict, external conflict, democratic accountability, ethnic tensions. Now I will go over each one in regards to the UAE. The UAE has largely been able to go unaffected by surrounding regional turmoil. It continues to be one of the most important Middle Eastern allies of the United States and is seen to be a major role model for the region. In the past, the UAE has emerged as one of the top countries in terms of socio-economic development and fiscal discipline. The UAE also features high global ranking on trust in government procedures, according to Rice Edelman's Trust Barometer. The same report ranks UAE second in terms of credibility of government officials. Internal and external conflicts. Although the UAE is generally liberal, it has had to tighten internet restrictions as a result of rising insurgency due to regional conflict. The UAE has been able to mitigate these problems and prevent an atmosphere of uncertainty for investors. The UAE works with the United Nations Development Programme to continue to adopt measures of transparency and accountability of its governance, institutions, and mechanisms. However, the UAE remains an authoritarian government. As for ethnic tensions are relatively minor and only include small episodes of tribal disputes within small regions. Moving on to financial risk components, one of the most important components are the investment profile. The UAE is the second largest FDI recipient in the West Asia region. It receives over 10 billion USD in foreign direct investment since 2014. Strengths of the UAE include access to oil resources, low energy costs, willingness to diversify the economy, and high purchasing power. The dirham has stayed stable relative to the USD since the 1990s. This has been achieved through a tight monetary policy that regulates domestic liquidity under an open exchange and payment system. There are no prohibitions on the import and export of currencies into the UAE, except for Israeli currencies and countries subject to UN sanctions. The UAE government has no external debt and relatively low inflation. The currency is valued at 3.67 dirham to 1 USD. Based on the executive summary published by the International Monetary Fund, the UAE has enjoyed sustained economic growth and rapid expansion of the economy. Some of the difficulties that will be encountered when investing in the UAE is its small size of domestic market. Legal obstacles also include the fact that it's not possible for shareholders to own above 49% in a local company except in free zones, mainly located in Dubai. Weak dispute resolution mechanisms and insolvency laws have also been complained about in the past. New mega projects and the winning bid of the 2020 World Expo has raised concerns about risks in Dubai's real estate market, which can affect banks and other government entities. This is due to recent rapid price rises in Dubai's real estate and expansion of real estate, and the rise of debt within the country. The World Economic Forum published a very important study about 3 different scenarios that the UAE can experience in the next 10 years, one of them being called the sandstorm, a scenario whereby the worst dramatic events outside of the UAE's control take place, where the UAE's leaders are only able to react. Reforms compromise in an attempt to stabilize local conditions, but do not result in long-term solutions to local demographic and economic problems. Our recommendations include tailoring value chain activities to tourist demographic, because although the UAE has a small domestic market, the UAE's major strength is its tourism. The MGM should capitalize on Dubai's influx of tourism by tailoring its value chain activities to the tourist demographic. Legal obstacles can be mitigated by building MGM Grand's facilities in a free zone, preferably as close as possible to the Emirates Airport, which frequently lands in China near another MGM Grand resort. This would allow maximum investment opportunity because of relaxed tax requirements. Foreign investment insurance is a way in which the firm can mitigate negative impacts on investment in the case of unforeseen political or economic instability. The 2 problems that were mentioned in the past slide are problems that are largely unforeseeable, mainly because the chances of each one happening is relatively low. So an insurance, foreign investment insurance, can protect the firm's investment if either one were to happen. Thank you.
Good evening, Board of Directors. My name is Carla Rosales, and I am part of Group 1. As a Board of Directors, it is fair to say that you need to understand the impact of our joint ventures with the Hakkasan Group to develop the MGM resorts in the United Arab Emirates. I'm going to address the fundamentals of entering into the particular market so that you can make a well-informed international business decision. We already know that MGM's international presence includes a global infrastructure to strengthen collaboration and improve strategic alliance across the company's operation in 24 countries and sales office in more than 50 markets. This presence has helped us in assessing the mode, speed, and skill of entry into the hospitality market in the Emirates. The MGM brand has a very strong value chain that can support our international expansion. We have established inbound and outbound logistical bases within the region that will ensure our distribution channels are well maintained. We do recognize the need to adjust marketing and human resources strategy to align with the Middle Eastern culture, but I do believe that this is where the advantage of partnering with the Hakkasan Group and already established perform from that region will provide significant advantage. The Emirates has done a fantastic job of establishing itself as an attractive international tourism destination with great leisure offering and has made a very interesting move on. The Emirate has a liberal climate towards foreign cooperation, investment, and modernization, which has prompted extensive diplomatic and commercial relations with other countries. With its prime geographic location at the crossroad of the major Western and Eastern economies, it established an efficient air and sea connection and developed infrastructure. The UAE is an exciting prospect for any business looking to establish a foothold or expand in the MENA region or wider Africa and Asia. Entering the new country market is very like a startup situation with no sales, no marketing infrastructure in place, and little or no knowledge of the market. What is particularly striking about entering the Emirates market is the cultural difference. Even though we believe that our partnership with the Hakkasan Group gives us a strategic advantage, we do recognize that there are barriers of entering that market. We know our competitors have the advantage of established brand loyalties. We hope that our strong advertising strategy would overcome the perception of customer switching costs. I would definitely understand the basis of our skepticism. If you were to say, well, every country has a vested interest in promoting to positive aspect of the economy to attract business investment, and therefore we can guarantee to expect at least the most basic business conditions to comparable to what we use in the United States. The answer is the World Bank provides credible annual data on the ease of doing business in different countries of the world. Many experts regard this information as the most reliable indicator of the current business environment within specific countries. To achieve the highest level of credible data the World Bank developed. The Ease of Doing Business Index ranks country against each other basis and how the regulatory stronger protections of the rights. Economies with a high rank have simpler and friendlier regulations for business. This next chart shows a comparison of key startup processes between the Emirates and the region, including Europe, the rest of the Middle Eastern, and North Africa. As you can see, the Emirates is way ahead of the rest of the Middle Eastern and North Africa and competes expressively with Europe when it comes to the numbers of procedures and processing times. And final, my recommendations is that it is imperative that we maintain the joint venture strategy with the Hakkasan Group, since foreign investment businesses can only operate in the limited free zone within the Emirates. And it is important that we add value to each of our core business operations through proper synchronization among all the related activities. It is important that we maintain the MGM tradition of proper organization of functions departments to perform our core hospitality activities. We are going to need a proper communication approach to synchronize the activities of our functional united efficiency. Thank you.
Dubai is famously known as the entertainment capital of the Middle East, which attracts many individuals from all over the world with its beauty and originality. Virtually every area of Dubai has its own unique customs that follow what is considered a duty for the local residents. The joint venture of MGM Resorts and Hakkasan Group, which is known as MGM Hakkasan Hospitality, has incredible plans to set up a new luxury resort located on Dubai's Palm Jumeirah Island. It is highly important that MGM Hakkasan Hospitality focuses on localizing its marketing mix to the cultural and economic barriers in Dubai. When developing marketing messages, it is important to use local input and develop cross-cultural literacy for communication between MGM Hakkasan Hospitality and Dubai. The culture of Dubai includes the tradition, language, religion, and education of the people, and it is essential to understand that the culture of Dubai is very different from many other areas of the world. Dubai is a modern city that welcomes visitors from all around the globe, but it is also a Muslim city, and there are certain factors to take into consideration in terms of dress code and behavior in order to give respect to the people of Dubai. The management and employees of MGM Hakkasan Hospitality also need to take into consideration that it is proper to accept food and refreshment before moving on to the matters of business. When taking food and refreshment, it is also proper to accept it with the right hand, and it is also the hand that you should eat with. It is also important to stand up for new guests, higher ranking people, older individuals, and women. When employees of MGM Hakkasan Hospitality greet a member of the opposite sex who is Muslim, it is important to not offer a handshake unless they stick out their hand first, due to religious reasons. In regards of religious reasoning, MGM Hakkasan Hospitality should avoid showing the soles of the feet, crossing of the legs, and pointing any feet or fingers. On an economical level, Dubai has an extremely dynamic and diversified economy. Many activities such as trade, transport, and tourism have helped the growth of the economy and has been able to achieve a high degree of expansion. MGM Hakkasan Hospitality will enjoy the competitive combination of cost, market, and environmental advantages that Dubai holds. The advantages in Dubai not only rank as the Arabian Gulf's leading multi-purpose business center and regional hub city, but they also place it at the forefront of the globe's dynamic and emerging market economies. The creation of this development will lead MGM Hakkasan Hospitality to a very successful future. These two companies have done a solid amount of research and have developed a plan to utilize each other's strengths, resources, and ideas to adapt to the everyday lifestyle of Dubai and to become a successful high-end non-gaming hotel. Courtesy and hospitality are among the most highly prized of virtues in the Arab world, and the opening of this hotel will be immersed with the warmth and friendliness from the people of Dubai. MGM Hakkasan Hospitality will need to adapt to the lifestyle that the people of Dubai live by and provide exceptional hospitality in all areas of the hotel, which also includes welcoming guests with a cup of coffee, since it is tradition of Dubai. MGM Hakkasan Hospitality will be building its new luxury on a 500,000 square foot piece of land in Dubai, with the goal of making it a top resort destination. In order for operations to be a success, it is recommended that the resort uses a pull strategy to fully emphasize on mass media advertising. The channel for this resort will be relatively long, and there will be sufficient print and electronic media available to carry out the marketing message for the new establishment. The MGM Resorts is a world leader in experimental hospitality and is recognized for designing and operating destination hotels unparalleled in innovation, amenities, and quality of service. And whereas the Hakkasan Group is a distinguished global lifestyle company, they'll be offering a unique approach to restaurant, lounge, nightlife, and day life experiences to the people of Dubai. In order to properly advertise this development, MGM Hakkasan Hospitality will need to use partial standardization in order to capture benefits of global standardization and to customize others to respond to the local culture and legal environment in Dubai. The overall success for MGM Hakkasan Hospitality will be heavily relied on approaching the culture and economy appropriately, integrating the marketing mix, the advertising, and the communication, and lastly, the firm needs to be innovative in order to keep up with the competition of the local market. MGM Hakkasan Hospitality needs to have a close coordination between its marketing, production, and research and development. Increased integration will ensure that the customer needs are driving the firm's development, keeping its cost in orders, and creating a long-lasting success for MGM Hakkasan Hospitality.
MGM Resorts subsidiary MGM Hospitality is responsible for the development and operation of non-gaming luxury and upper upscale hotels, resorts, and branded residences in international gateway cities and prime resort destinations. MGM's international business strategy for the past few years has been to focus on expanding their brand away from gambling, being that many countries have a no gambling policy, while in others, the government has a strict policy in the gambling industry. While most, if not of all MGM's hotels contain a casino in the US, MGM has been able to expand into China with hotels in Macau and Sanya, with the location in Macau including a casino. In order to expand their operations, they have teamed with Hakkasan, a distinguished global lifestyle company offering a unique approach to restaurant, lounge, nightlife, and day life experiences. They have planned on expanding to different parts of the world with 18 new properties in London, Paris, Hong Kong, Singapore, Mumbai, and Dubai, among others. They will focus on not just having upscale room experience for their guests, but offer them local quality restaurants, high-end shopping, spas, and much more. MGM, along with Hakkasan, will not just concentrate on building hotels, but also in building upscale residences. Hakkasan Group would focus on placing other high-profile dining and nightlife brands into MGM Hakkasan hospitality, hotel, and residential developments in order to maximize value for its portfolio of assets. They seek to create resort destinations and lifestyle experiences around the globe. MGM has focused its business structure on a quality assurance program that is based on a Japanese style of business. They focus on having the best quality of service for their customer. Their quality depends on the time it takes to make a decision. If a customer has a complaint and/or problem, lower level management needs to solve it immediately without having to get upper management involved, which would result in a loss of time and poor quality of service for the customer. MGM structure focuses on 4 core assumptions, these being, person who does the job is in the best position to know how to do it. People at the lowest level should be responsible for problem solving and decision making. People are the organization's greatest resource, and empowered employees consistently perform at higher levels. MGM has focused its last few years on a sustainable supply chain that will allow the company to reduce its environmental footprint. They concentrate more on the entire life cycle of a product. A few things they have done to reduce their overall costs in the supply chain is that they have installed electric vehicle charging stations, and over 2.3 million ounces of condiments are now provided by bulk containers instead of single-use packets through strategic sourcing practices. In 2013, MGM began a partnership with EcoDesk, a global sustainability data platform that builds upon its industry-leading commitment to environmental responsibilities. MGM is now able to see what suppliers are offering and allows them to evaluate possible opportunities for innovation while offering the convenience of a centralized database.